There's a place called Kokomo. That's where we wanna, hey, go to get away from it all. Okay, I just wrote a song. You know, it's kind of what I do, songwriting. No, I don't think that's a Beatles song. No, I'm pretty sure I wrote it. It's cold outside. You know, in the teens and getting colder. So it's okay. It's warm in here. That's the main thing. So I heard something yesterday. These Carhartt jackets, you know, this one I've had for a long time. Used to work for I don't know, what do you call it? I was going to say a timber company, but more of a forestry contractor. Yeah, we'd do prescribed burns. We would do, I can't tell you how many acres I've burned in my life. It's a lot. Also logging, land management, you know, that kind of thing. So this jacket, this Carhartt jacket, has been around. It's seen a lot. Well, I became aware of a trend, according to my wife. So, hipsters. You know what a hipster is? I don't know. Look it up. Google it. All right, fine. I got to do everything. I got to write the songs. I've got to look up what a hipster is. Hipster. Hipster outfits. We'll get to that in a minute. Multiple meanings evolved over time. Counterculture rebels, trendy people. Okay, we're gonna use it in the trendy people sense. So, however, the word is sometimes used as a pejorative to describe someone who is pretentious or overly concerned with appearing trendy. Yes, okay, that's what I'm talking about. So apparently, the trend is to buy well-worn-in Carhartt jackets, such as this one. You know, it could be even more worn in, but I'm telling you, I've had this a long time, and wear it, and even possibly drive an old pickup truck. That's like the hardcore hipster move. Apparently, looking like you're a working man is cool, but they don't want to do the work, they just want to look like it. So, you can buy one of these Carhartt jackets, you know, Tractor Supply, whatever. I don't know, what is it, $100, $150? Brand new. But these used versions that are broken in can go for upwards of $500, I'm told. So I'm thinking of, you know, selling this and buying 3 more new ones, because I don't care. What is this obsession? This is the thing. You want to look like the person who's worked hard and is working hard and is rugged, right? But you don't want to be rugged yourself because that's too hard. If you were to talk to the rugged people that actually wore in the jacket, they'd kind of, they'd probably be happy to not have to be wearing out a jacket. Just saying. But the real cool people are the people that actually are legitimately doing the work and wearing out the jackets, and the hipsters, they are just fake. And I cannot abide fake. But, you know, I don't know any, so I don't know how, it just fascinates me. So what also fascinates me is that we're going to put the engine in Marcus Aurelius, okay? I'm really tired of vacation. Let's just put it that way. This whole Christmas, New Year's weeks of, you know, Anyway, I'm ready to get to work. I've got like 2 days this week left, and we're gonna plop that motor in there and see if we can't hear some noise and maybe shift some gears. It's cold out, but it's not sloppy and snowy, so we can get it out on the road, make sure everything's working properly, and then return it to its home where it belongs. And then I have more things coming. So it's gonna be an exciting year. It's gonna be a busy year, and I hope that you can be around for it. We'll see. I'm gonna do my best. But you're always welcome here. It's good to see you. I'm using hand gestures, so you know I'm excited. And I've also had 2 cups of coffee already this morning. So let's get busy. I have to paint the exhaust manifold the second one that I ordered, because the first one I ordered was wrong, and then I ordered the second one, and now I have to still paint it. So I'm gonna paint it, prep it, and then I'm ready to assemble the motor, put it in the car. More hand gestures. So, all right, well, let's go. Let's do something. This is gonna be great. Many hours later, I should have had this thing assembled by now. But I get interrupted. It's fine. Phone calls, whatnot, it's all important. It just, yeah, glad you didn't have to see that. That would have been ugly. Nobody wants to hang out with someone who's on the phone, just saying, because that's boring. So, all right. So, this is actually the one that you saw me painting. The correct one. So I've got this one on, and this is the new hardware that we talked about. It's by, I got it from Stage 1 Restoration. And these are supposed to be torqued to, it even says it right on there. I just noticed that. Torqued to 18 foot-pounds. Well, I tightened them down, but I had most of these top ones, this locking washer, even if this was tightened down to 18 foot-pounds, it was just spinning freely. So obviously the threads were tightening, but the bolt was not tightening. So I guess I had kind of figured the machine shop would have chased these threads. Well, they didn't. So now this manifold is on probably more than 18 foot-pounds. I pulled these out, I chased the threads on them, I put them back in, but you know, they're to 18, but I have a feeling my elbow meter says they're probably tighter than that. But it shouldn't leak, should be fine. I'm going to chase the threads on the other side with the manifold off because I'd already had, all right, so let me explain. Okay, just simmer, let me explain. So if you look at this one, I wish I had a massive belt sander. I do not. But if you look at the ports on this, you can see some pitting. That's because you can't buy these manifolds new anymore. So you're getting used, yeah, they've had some rust issues, whatnot, over the years, and pitting is not unusual. So I sanded them down flat individually, but you still have some of the pits, and I'm not going to sand it all the way down until there's no pits. That would just be too much material. So instead, we have the combination of the gasket, which is on there, and then I will use this ultra copper exhaust gasket maker, and I will be using that to essentially fill the pits and to get this manifold to seal. So that's why I had already had that up, and I didn't want to take it all the way back off and chase the threads, so I just chased the threads on it with a tap. Actually, it's right here, see? With the manifold on, which is a pain. So I'm going to do the other side while this sits on the table. And yeah, get back to it. So I'll put those on, and then I've got the flywheel to put on, the motor mounts, and all of the shields. You know, you've got, these are basically heat shields for the starter, and the, you know, because the exhaust runs right next to some of these, what do you call them? I'm losing the word. Vulnerable. Places of vulnerability. Yeah, normally, you know, we should be vulnerable, but we got to protect the vulnerable places. So, from the heat. So we're doing that. So here's the hardware I haven't used, but yeah, I'll go ahead and chase those threads. We will put some of this around each port and then bolt it up to 18 foot-pounds. And then what else? What else do I have? Flywheel, manifolds, shields, engine mounts, and then yeah, and we'll drop it right in the engine bay. Start, you know, getting the transmission lined up, getting everything bolted up, and it kind of goes fast once it gets started. So I know you can't tell, but it's been a slow start today. So I'm gonna get back to it. Just kind of wanted to kind of fill you in on what was happening here. Okay, it's time to put this bad boy back in the engine bay, finally, after all these months. I've got it assembled as far as it needs to be assembled, so I guess there's nothing left but to, stop procrastinating, actually do the work. Let's see, oh yeah, forgot. Where did I put it? Well, seriously, I guess I'll better go get it. Yep. All right. Okay. Oh. Just needed a drink of water. Speaking of water and light and air, I think this is going to be in the way. Getting the motor in, so let's just set this to the side for now. Okay, yep. All right, anything else? I'm sure I'll think of some way to procrastinate further, but until then, let me put some gloves on while I'm thinking about what else I can do. Well, putting an engine in, the thing weighs 50 million pounds, and I'm doing it by myself, and it's not my car. There's a certain amount of healthy anxiety that goes on, You think this is all casual. It's not. You got to think about everything. I want it to go in right. I don't want anything bad to happen. So I'm just giving myself time to slow down and think about it. And I think I'm ready. I'm pretty sure. More or less. Maybe a little less than more. We'll see. Let's move this out of the way. Oops. Up a little more. All right. Let's roll this over. Well, it is down here. I always want to push on the base of these lifts because you push on the top, I don't know, top heavy is a thing. Okay, so I think we're good. We'll just sit here and pump this handle for 45 minutes. There we go. Put this way higher in the air than I'm comfortable with. I lifted the car up so that I can crawl under it and slide the bolts in for the motor mounts and line up the transmission, and it'd be easier if it was down closer to the ground, but I can't get under the car very well then, so. This car was all the way up when I took the motor out, so by just assumption, I should be able to get high enough to get it in, You got the 4 bolts, that hold down the carburetor. Taking the full tensile strength, I don't know, something about it always makes me just a little breaking out in cold sweats, that's all. Just being real with you. So, let's slide this forward just a tickle. Okay. Shows us where we need to be. Okay. It's off to the side if I'm going to avoid this. The latches over here, which I want to do. Just going to slide it gently, kind of, so I don't have to get it up any higher than it is. Okay, we're good on the hood. Good on the hood. So we're going to slide it toward me just to tickle. All right, we're going to come down just a tiny bit. You don't want to just slam it down because there's a long way to go yet. So just trying to make some room up by the hood there. Okay. Slide this in. We can't anymore. Okay, and then we'll come down again. Okay, tighten that up again. I may have to turn this a little bit just to get it. Okay, now we're up against that, which we don't want, so let's lower it down just a tickle. There we go. Wonderful. So, I turn it this way to get me some space to lower it, so I have more space up here. So we're going to do that. Again. Okay. That is just right. And we can come in again. Oh yeah, this is what I like. This is what I like. Okay, and we're going to calm down again. Just a little at a time. Get our clearance that we need. Okay, sure. It wasn't alarming at all. Oh, I see. Yeah, we got the exhaust up against our heater hoses here. Oh, hey, I just dumped some coolant on the floor where I have to lay. That's awesome. Love it when that happens. Oh yeah, that's great. Let's dry that up with my t-shirt. Okay, ouch. Okay. You know, that's kind of par for the course. You're going to do something like that. All right, clearances seem to be okay. So far, so good. We're just going to let this down a little at a time. And kind of line it up. You know, this is the deal. Just a tiny bit at a time. Yep, okay. And we'll come in just a little bit. Come in a little bit closer. Okay. Oh, let's get that power. Got harness that goes above the engine here. It's attached conveniently to the harness that goes below the engine. So kind of do a little dance here to get it down. Okay. Crunch level 2. You know, 2's acceptable. That's just little pieces of harness plastic kind of shifting around. Okay, yep. So let's just kind of semi-clip this up in here. That way it's out of the way. And then this will remain where it is for now. I need to scooch it back. Except guess what? I can't. I can't scooch it back. That's as far as I can go. I don't remember that from before. But you know, I had a different lift plate before. I had a 3-hole on there. Shouldn't have mattered. It's on the front hole, so let's just keep going down. See if I can't get some good distance. Okay. Well, that is not ideal. Interesting. Let me shine a light back there now that I can use a light. Just hang out a minute. I have to figure out, so my length here, I'm just a little bit, about I don't know, 3 or 4 inches off. It needs to be back further, but I'm up against the bumper here. And I didn't think I lifted it from the side like I did with the Riviera. I'm pretty sure it just came out. So let me puzzle on this a minute and I'll be back to you. This is the motion. This is like, I don't know if you watch a lot of YouTube, but this is this is the thumbnail YouTube pose. I don't know. It's like a weird face and a gesture, you know. And then there's a title. It says, "Engine in with difficulty." or something. I'm not really good at titles, but I know the face. You know, that's the face. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. Engine in. So anyway, is the saying "I digress," does that insert here properly? Possibly. I don't know. I'm usually digressing, so I feel like that's something that you could just always have as a subtitle, digressing. Anyway, it slid in just fine. I just, just come in here and I'll show it to you. You kind of already saw it, but I'll show it to you. So I've just got the motor mount bolts just kind of slid in there. I still got to tighten them up, put the nut on them. And I've just got the bell housing to block bolts, or 6 of them, just snugged up, just so it's all one piece. I'm going to torque each one of them down. And then, it just kind of slid into place. No real extra fuss or drama. So normally what I do is work from the back of the car to the front of the car. So we'll tighten the bell housing bolts, we'll put the starter in and wire it. There's a harness bracket because the harness kind of wraps around to the top of the motor. Over here, you can see you can kind of see the bracket down there. To bolt that up, tighten the motor mounts, get those tightened up, and then I'll attach the exhaust and then start all these firewall connections that go to the engine, to the sensors. I just start working my way from the back, all of the vacuum hoses, all the way to the front, then we'll put the carburetor on, and then once we get up to the front, we'll start assembling the pulleys, all of the dressing stuff, radiator, fan shroud, fan, all of the stuff and then when you get to the front, when you finally bolt this, the cover on the radiator and put the air cleaner on, it's done. So that's what you're going to see me do in fast motion. I'm going to get under the car and I'm going to start tightening things, and then I'm going to get above and I'm going to start doing that. So I'll slow down and take you in if there's something, I don't know, that's interesting. Or maybe a thought pops into my head like, oh, I want to tell you that. And it may have nothing to do with the car at all. It's hard to, maybe I just want to share some more song lyrics that I've written. Well, that's what I'll do then. Okay, well, sit down, grab some popcorn if you eat that. I don't know, popcorn's really not my thing. But whatever you want. And I'm gonna just start working my way forward. It's exciting. Maybe we hear this thing pop off today. Okay, so how about this poem I've been working on? Okay, because all the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. I'd be safe and warm if I was in LA, California dreaming on a winter's day. You know, it's a winter's day and it's cold outside. It's a work in progress, but yeah, just. Why do you say every single time that you think that's a Beatles song? I don't know, what is everything a Beatles song? Do the Beatles have like a lock on every poem, on every piece of music in the world? Fine. Okay, well, I'll just stop sharing my poems with you then. So, I've got the, starter on, converter bolted in, exhaust on, fuel lines hooked up, motor mounts tightened, and got my thermostat in, all of my vacuum lines attached. Just make sure I had one in the back that I couldn't remember where it came from and where it went. And you know, that's why you take pictures of things when you are disassembling it, for the very specific vacuum routing connections. So, and whatnot, whatever you think you need to be reminded of, because your memory isn't as good as you think. So, I've got to hook the water lines up, heater hoses here and here that are still plugged off. But I'm going to wait on that because I want to do all of my wiring, and I'm waiting on that until I get all of my accessories attached. So we've got to mount our power steering, our air conditioning, our air pump, our thing that charges things, which I'm noticing right now. There's like a lot of rubber buildup. I don't know, feels okay. It was charging. That just reminds me of a situation where this was locked up, but not really. Also, this hose, you can see this is a belt, not a hose, because you have eyes and a brain. And I just determined it was probably, I don't know, just looking at it. I didn't like it, so I bought a new one. And maybe, I don't know, I'm not seeing anything that's locked up, but it's not a great thing to see, rubber on there, but everything seems fine. So we'll just chalk it up to a belt that's bad, and we're going to put a new one on there. So these belts look fine. I don't see any problems there really. So anyway, hose looks good, upper and lower. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to be doing. All the accessories, getting the belts on, and then wiring before we finally get to you kind of have to do the fan and shroud at the same time, because you can't get the shroud on when the fan's mounted. So you kind of have to put the fan and shroud in after you get anyway. It's a process, or I could put the shroud on and then, I don't know if the radiators, stop asking so many questions, okay? I'm just gonna do it, and then you'll see how I do it. That'll be easier. So I just figured you're getting bored scrolling on your phone, watching me fast work. Figured, you know, I'd say, hey, how's it going? But if you're gonna be sassy, then I'll just go back to my fast work, and hopefully when I'm done, we can fill it with coolant and crank it up. I don't know. I don't know. If you're nice to me, maybe I'll do that, okay? All right, as you were. The moment of truth. I think I pretty much have everything hooked up. Oh, look at my friend the fan came on. That's genius. That's all right. Oh yeah, I need, where's my other one? Here it is. Okay. What do we got? Go right there. Okay, yep. Okay. Yep. Whew, doesn't that look nice? Oh man. Okay. So I've got to bolt this down, and I've got extra wire here. I got to look at my my documentation to remember where I put it. I have a feeling it's for my air conditioning, which I have to hook the ground up on that yet. And then I have all of these pipes and hoses that go into the air cleaner too. But we'll just do one thing at a time, you know? See, why am I missing things? You know, I take this apart. I have the hardware, and then when I go back to the box, it's apparently just taking a vacation. It's like, well, I've been in this box for so long. Why am I just sitting around? Why don't I go have some fun? And then they forget to come back. It's just ridiculous. You know, stay where I put you. Can you do that? Just stay where I put you. That would be great. All right, so let's get these started. This looks so amazing. I love it. I'm loving it. All right, so let me tighten that down. Might be a little strippulated. Okay. Then we got the front ones, which are a little bit bigger. A little bit. We got to be very careful tightening these down because this plastic is so brittle. It just, you just look at it and it wants to break. So whenever I'm tightening it up, I'm kind of like, just kind of looking out of the corner of my eye, you know? Like I don't look directly at it because it'll break. So just kind of pretend you're not, you know? Just pretend you don't care. You're not really here, and it'll just, you know? It's kind of like a cat. Cats are happiest when you ignore them. Or maybe they're happiest when they ignore you. Like they're just looking around, rubbing their butt on you, but they're just looking to like, I'm not here, but I am. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so we will have to do a leak test on this car. Couple of things, since we disconnected the lines for the transmission cooler. Once we get it running and warmed up, we'll check that. I'll have to fill it with coolant, do a leak test there. Has oil in it, that's all good. Let's see if I can find a picture. Find some documentation, you know? Something that tells me, hey, this is where you had it plugged in. Okay. No, that's not even the right one. I'm looking at the Riviera. I don't need to be looking at it. It's the same engine bay, honestly, but not the same, you know? It's the same, but not. Let's see, what's this one? Oh yeah, there we go. So, we had this attached, like so. Come on, like so. There you go. Yep, nope, there you go. Ow. Oh, just really destroyed my finger. Okay, just like that. I don't know why it's doing a little sideways thing, but maybe it's up against something. What's it up against? Shouldn't be up against anything. Okay, there we go. All right. There's that. This is attached to here. Ah, I see. And this attaches to here, which of course. So, this is the deal. This is the dealio. This is the deal. Hang on a minute. I'll tell you what the deal is in a minute. Okay, I can't. This is the deal. Here's the deal. Well, it's not wanting to do it, which is actually okay. This doesn't even need to be connected because the AC isn't connected. This is interesting. This doesn't make any sense at all. Oh, okay, I bet it does. All right, hang on a minute. I'm thinking out loud. Scary, right? It's a scary, scary thing. Let's attach the ground. So, do you remember I showed you the pulley on here that had all that rubber on it? Well, I figured out what that was all about. Just by looking at how the belts are lined up, my guess, and also by the evidence on this pulley for the air conditioning, this air conditioning compressor locked up. Well, the clutch isn't on, so it's spinning freely now, but it locked up. Man, I'm bleeding. Anyway, which caused it to spin on this pulley and lay down some rubber. That's what happened. That's why there's no belt going to this particular unit. I really damaged my thumb. I'm gonna have to update my banner. 0 days till last injury. Dang it. Insurance is going up for sure. Okay. All right, so let me peek around the corner on this thing, see if I can discover where my extra wire gets plugged in, because it would only make sense that it's plugged in somewhere over here, because that makes sense, right? Right. So this is the deal. This here, oh, maybe it plugs into that. Oh, okay, sure, that's where it goes. It just pulled out of here, that's all. Okay. So if you look at all the wires that go to this AC compressor, there's one that goes to the back of the compressor. This one goes to the front, right here. You've got the ground. So it's like the compressor gets its electricity from the Bluetooth. Well, we know they didn't have Bluetooth in 73. So had to have been a wire. And that's this wire here. It just pulled out of the little harness is all. No biggie. We'll just put my bloodied thumb back here and reach it through and stick it in. Not that it matters, because it doesn't even work. Ouch. Doesn't even work. All right, where are we at here? What's going on? Okay. Yep. A little tab there. It'll just slide right in. There you go. Just like that. Okay. Let's try not to wound myself this time. Now I'm going to leave this unhooked as it was, because we don't want that being kicked on. There's no reason for it. It does not work, and there's no belt. So, all right. Well, I sucked out as much of the rust I could that, you know, the battery tray is made out of. And let's plop this battery in there. Okay. All right. Wow, this is we still got to do the air cleaner and all that kind of stuff, but let's put the positive on and leave the negative off for now. How about? Because we don't want power to it just yet. What I do want, I got to figure a couple of things out. Hey, just thread in there. What's your deal? Don't give me that sass. All right. Is it this one? Ooh, that's not even tight there. I better loosen that up, tighten that, and then tighten that. It's a little bit janky. I don't understand it. We'll figure it out. Let's see. Oops, that is not big enough. Try 3/4. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's not good. What is going on with that? How about we just dispense with that one? I don't like it. It's stripping itself out. Not good. I don't even think it's the right size. All right. Well, I'm gonna go figure that out. Get the right size hardware going on. What about this one? Is this the right size? Yes. Okay. How about we just do that then? Oh, I see. They necked it down because the hole on this positive line is smaller than the hole on this negative line. Okay. Sure. Well, I'll have to figure that out because it's not working. Okay. These are the fun things, you know. You come put something back together and, well, it was together once, but it doesn't mean it wants to be together the second time. So let's reward ourselves with some eye candy here. So, oh yeah, these, where did these go? Right. Okay, I know where that goes. So I have two. That's interesting. That goes in the side, wherever that is. Well, I thought it had a side. Interesting. So we had these two. Okay, we're going to cut to commercial. Oh, we don't have commercials? Okay. We're going to cut to when I figured out all of the paraphernalia underneath the air cleaner that I took apart. And then you can see it kind of together. And that'll be exciting for me. Okay. Oh. Got a leak. Where's that leak coming from? Well, at least we know the fuel pump works. Okay. I'm gonna have to crank that thing down. So that's success. Motor started, but we've got a leak alert. So let me fix that real quick, and then we'll crank it up again and get her warming. Well, as you can see, not everything has gone according to plan. The good news, well, the engine's running fine, as it should be. The bad news, I got two bad newses. One, I have a mess of antifreeze to clean up because when it finally burped through, it overflowed and then it sucked back in. Well, it's okay, I need to wash my floor anyway. So, the second thing, I have got fuel leaking out of the weep hole of the fuel pump. So, it obviously wasn't doing that, you know, on the old engine, or at least I never noticed it. It's pumping fuel quite well. But it is pushing through the weep hole, so I'm going to have to track that down. I double checked, make sure there wasn't any restriction in the return line back to the fuel tank. I blew that line out just to make sure. It did slow down the weeping a little bit, but not completely. So, yeah, you know, so. I think, though, we're going to, I'm going to call it quits on this episode and clean up my mess, I guess, since you're not going to be helping. Oh. So, well, you're not going to be able to probably see it very well, but I just figured I would show you. So there's the fuel pump. Well, you can't see it. There it is. There's a weep hole just right on the top side of it, and it's just been dripping. I let it run, and it dripped about that much fuel out of it. Obviously, we can't have that happening. All the fittings are tight. I know where it's coming from. So, got all the fans running in here to get all of the, so I did finally install my exhaust system so I can run the car in the shop on cold weather days, you know, when, but I still had to do the fan in the door because well, you remember, engine melted down, blew the head gasket, and it dumped a bunch of coolant into the exhaust. And so especially on this driver's side exhaust, the exhaust is still full of coolant. So it was kind of baking off and causing a bunch of steam in the shop. So I got to evacuate it so I can breathe oxygen. So let me clean this up real quick. It's awesome that the engine is running, and you know, it's in the car ready to go. I'm waiting on a small little clip so you can see this. This is the arm for the choke. There's a little spring down in here that when it heats up, it opens the choke up. I lost that clip. It's literally the size of an ant. And, well, you know, probably got vacuumed up in a dirt pile somewhere. So I ordered another clip for that. So I'm waiting on that, and then I'll figure out the fuel pump weeping issue. Other than that, it's perfect. It's doing really well. So I'm super excited to see this car go. Not because I dislike having it, but you know, it's always fun to let the owner get back, you know, the car, and it's working, and you know, it's fun. So I just have to delay that for the clip, and then we'll figure out this fuel pump issue, and maybe I'll tell you about it. But let me clean this up, and we'll just take a breather, discuss the day, and then I'll let you, we'll part ways. We'll just, you know, you probably got supper or something you need to eat. Oh. You ever have one of those days? Oh yeah, you like my, yeah, my stepson got me that. I don't know why. He thought it was funny. I have yet to use it and a beer actually show up. I still have to get my own, but you know, it's funny. Oh, do you ever, or have you ever had one of those days where you didn't wake up in a bad mood? In fact, you didn't really feel in a bad mood all day, but your fuse was unusually short. Like every small thing, the world is against me, or every small thing, son of a biscuit eater, you know, or whatever, you know, swear words you use, you know, dingleberries, you know, whatever they are. You know, that was today for me. I don't know what the heck. I was, you know, I mean, it was fine. But then, you know, I don't know. I always like, you know, engine installs to go smoothly. And, you know, I expect a leak here, there, a fitting, something that, you know, there's a lot of things to tighten up. Didn't get tightened up, so you snug them up, everything's fine. And I don't, you know, I don't like it that I'm leaking fuel. And now I've got to sort that situation out. I would just like it to work, you know? The Riviera was a perfect example of being spoiled by putting it together. It's like nothing. I just drove the car. It was like everything worked perfectly. Marcus Aurelius, he's not going out without a fight, but whatever. It'll be fine. It was just maybe irritating me more today because I was short-fused today. But that's okay. It's probably just my time of month, we all have it. Am I right? Okay. Maybe it's just me. But despite, in spite, despite, out of spite, whatever, all of that, regardless, irregardless, if there's any out there who just love to be irritated by misuse of words, it's been great having you tagging along this week. I am glad to have that project kind of getting shoved across the finish line. And I'm hoping next week, all the parts came in for the rear suspension on the 78 Corvette, whom I have dubbed Disco. So Disco's rear suspension rebuild kit came in. So I'm hoping to tackle that. If I can, get the Marcus out the door. So anyway, that's kind of the plan. So we know for sure it's not going to happen. But for sure, I'll be here because this is where I don't sleep here, but I feel like it sometimes. Anyway, cheers. Have an awesome week until we can hang out again and, find something to work on. That's my challenge to you, as if you need a challenge. But have some fun. Do something you love. We'll see you next week.